Oh, why, hi. Hello, my name is Digilio. Thank you for checking me out on YouTube here, and check me out on Patreon as well. You might be checking me out on Patreon as well. A couple of quick things, some plugs here. I have two podcasts that are out and going. One is called the Nick D Podcast. It's an entertainment pop culture podcast with my co-host Esmeralda Leon, where we talk about life and pop culture and have a lot of fun. We talk about food and we talk about entertainment. It's great. We have great guests, great regular guests. I review movies, we review television, we talk about books, we talk about music, we talk about wrestling, we talk about a ton of stuff. It's very similar to what I used to do on the overnight radios. So check that out. That's the Nick D Podcast, Tuesdays and Fridays, new episodes at radiomisfits.com and wherever you get your podcast. My second podcast is called That Show Hasn't Been Funny in Years. It's an SNL podcast, and it's all about Saturday Night Live. I love doing this. If you're a fan of Saturday Night Live, you need to subscribe to this podcast because it's the best. Every Wednesday, you get a brand new episode of That Show Hasn't Been Funny in Years. Sometimes I have guests, sometimes I don't. I've had cast members in the past and writers on. We talk about all kinds of great things like episodes and seasons and best cast and worst cast and memorable moments on live TV. Saturday Night Live is the best, and you can check out a really great podcast that I do called That Show Hasn't Been Funny in Years. All of the podcasts that I do, the two podcasts that I do, radiomisfits.com. Radio Misfits Podcast Network, the best podcast network in the world. We also live stream at Radio Misfits, where you can hear a bunch of unheard music and a bunch of episodes of all the great podcasts by checking out radiomisfits.live, a 24-hour streaming. So it's like the radio, only cooler. Radiomisfits.live. So check out those podcasts. Also, you can hear me on Fridays on The Steve Cochran Show, the morning drive show at WLS AM, the Big 89, 890 AM here in Chicago. On Fridays, I review movies and hang out with all the crew on the Steve Cochran Show. And I'm in a big, legendary radio studio, and you can hear me on Fridays on WLS AM 890 reviewing movies. So there you go. And check me out on my Patreon page. Because all this stuff that I do, the podcast, these videos that I'm doing right now, all the stuff I do on WLS, the movie reviews that I provide, the entertainment that I give, it's all free. So you don't have to pay for it. So if you can kick to my Patreon page, that'd be awesome. And that's patreon.com/NickDShow. Patreon.com/NickDShow. You pick a tier, you pick a level. You can donate money once a month, work it out like $3 to $5, $6, $25 a month if you want. It helps to keep all the stuff that I'm doing going. Because all this stuff is free, and so I'd like to see, a little kickback would be awesome. You get some bonuses. There are some bonus videos that are available at my Patreon page that you can look up. Some behind-the-scenes stories about the radio station that I used to work at. We also are going to have like merchandise coming soon that if you donate, you will get. So Patreon.com/NickDShow. Give today. One of the other things that I do every year is I go to this event. This is the Flashback Weekend Horror Convention. It has been going strong since 2002, and it is the best horror fan convention in the country. And I've been a part of it since the very beginning. I am a host. I am a moderator of Q&As. I introduce things. I run around and I produce, make stuff happen. It's great. I work with the family at Flashback, and they're led by Mike and Mia Kurz. And Mike and Mia are dedicated to horror films. They're dedicated to entertainment. They're dedicated to film and the drive-in experience. They own the Midway Drive-In in Sterling, Illinois. And all of the money that comes into Flashback goes directly into them keeping the drive-in alive. It's a grassroots convention that exists in order to keep the drive-in alive. This is not a corporate entity. This is not a big business horror convention. This is a grassroots family-run business/convention, and all of the money that they get from these weekends goes right back into keeping the drive-in going, because Mike and Mia love movies, they love horror movies, and they love to keep the drive-in experience alive. So on that level alone, the Flashback Convention is cooler and more sincere and lovelier than any other horror convention in the country, keeping the drive-in alive. You can check out Midway Drive-In. They're in Sterling, Illinois. So every year, Mike and Mia run the Flashback Weekend Convention, and they have asked me to be a part of it for the entire time. This is the 21st year. So the 21st convention is this year. This is my 20th. I missed 2021. Took a little time away. They didn't have one in 2020 because of COVID, and I took a little time off in 2022, or 2021. But I came back last year, and it was fantastic, and it's going to be great this year. So I am telling you about some of the amazing things that are happening at Flashback Weekend Horror Convention this year, 2023. It is August 4th through the 6th this year at the Hyatt Regency O'Hare, the beautiful Hyatt Regency in Rosemont. Right off when you're driving down the Kennedy, you can see it with the cool circular domes that are on each side of the building. It is an iconic hotel, visually, and it is, a Hyatt. It is one of the coolest hotels ever and the best hotel that you can have a convention at in that Rosemont area. And so we are now at the Hyatt Regency O'Hare, and it is August 4th through the 6th, and it's going to be amazing. Every year I've been a part of Flashback, and I have so many memories dedicated to the times I've spent at Flashback. I've met so many great celebrities, and I've gotten the opportunity to work with those celebrities and to do their Q&As and to interview them and spend time with them. And help the crowds and the fans and the tribe, as I call my members of the tribe in the horror world, have a great time and provide them entertainment, and me being a host and the celebrities being cool. And I've worked with so many of the great celebrities over the years, most memorably, so many of them. I mean, George Romero came to the convention a few times, and I did his Q&As, and we became friends, which is mind-blowing. I worked with John Carpenter when he came to the convention. I did his Q&A, and they screened movies and all kinds of crazy events. The cast of Phantasm and director Don Coscarelli, that was big. Malcolm McDowell, I'm trying to think of some of the other off the top of my head. Bruce Campbell, Sam Raimi, Ted Raimi, my future ex-wife Dana DiLorenzo, and Ray Santiago from Ash vs. the Evil Dead. They were there. Over the years, so many incredible celebrities and incredible guests that have lined up. Robert Englund, who is one of the key components into keeping Flashback going, has been there several times and is amazing. Kane Hodder, who's going to be there again this year. He is one of the most popular Jasons of all time. Incredible guy. Linnea Quigley was there many years ago. It's just been an incredible lineup. Every year they get the biggest stars, and I love doing it. It's my favorite weekend of the year. As a horror fan, since I was a little kid, I've loved horror movies since birth. I've been obsessed with it. And nobody knows the genre and respects the genre and puts together a great fan convention loaded with incredible events and great parties and unbelievable celebrity guests. Nobody does it better than Mike and Mia and the Flashback Horror Convention. So after 21 years, after 20 years now, it's the 21st anniversary. And it's an incredible lineup this year as well. This year, you've got a big-time Scream reunion, and that consists of Skeet Ulrich, who was at the convention a few years ago for another Scream reunion that they did. Rose McGowan, who rarely comes to conventions, she's going to be there, and Jamie Kennedy and Lee Waddell, the original Ghostface killer from Scream. So there's a Scream reunion. There's going to be a Q&A and a panel discussion. They will be there to take pictures, to sign autographs, to meet and greet, to hang out. They will be there having a great time. And there are also professional photo ops. And this is a thing that is a really big part of the convention now, the big professional photo ops, where you can buy a photo opportunity to get an unbelievable, professional, beautiful photograph taken with you and the celebrities. And many of them, they are going to be in costume. They're going to be on sets that actually are a part of whatever movie they were in. So the professional photo ops are also great. So you can get your photo ops with the Scream people. You'll see the Q&A and so much more, and it'll be great. So that's the Scream reunion. And then there is also a Terrifier reunion. And Terrifier 1 and Terrifier 2, these hugely popular cult movies about Art the Clown and his adventures murdering people. These are loved by the horror community as great examples of low-budget horror, where on a zero budget with practical effects and no CGI and no flashy stuff, the makers of these films, Damien Leone, who by the way is the guy who created the Terrifier series and Art the Clown, the classic killer, he created these movies out of nothing. Like, these are low budget movies that were done, kind of under the radar, and they have become cult classics, and horror fanatics love these movies. And he's going to be there, the director, the creator. David Howard Thornton, who plays Art the Clown, is going to be there. And there are going to be cast members aplenty, and the photo ops for this are unbelievable. You get to take a picture with Art the Clown. You get to take a picture with so many of the other characters. Like, for instance, Jenna. Let me get the names right here. I'm reading because I need my glasses because I'm old. Jenna Cannell is going to be there from Terrifier. Catherine Corcoran, Lauren Lavera, Elliot Fullman, Emil McLean, Leah Voyesi, and Casey Hartnett. All of those cast members and the director and Art the Clown are going to be there. I mean, that's like 10 people from the Terrifier movies are going to be there for a reunion, for a big Q&A and a panel discussion. That's going to be amazing. And the photo ops that you have for Terrifier are unbelievable because a lot of them are going to be in their costumes from the movie, and they're very memorable costumes. So in addition to Art the Clown, you've got Emil McLean, who's the little crazy, the pale girl. She's going to be in costume. Lauren Lavera, if you remember from Terrifier 2, is going to be in her Halloween costume in that. And you can get photos taken and all that kind of stuff. So Terrifier, if you're a fan of Terrifier, you have to come because this is the biggest Terrifier and Terrifier 2 reunion that you can imagine. Holly Marie Combs is going to be there from Charmed. She's going to reunite with Rose McGowan, that great, terrific WB show Charmed, which I loved. She's going to be there, and you can get photos with her and all kinds of other stuff with her as well. Dick Warlock, the legendary stuntman actor who appeared in Halloween 2 and did stunts for a ton of other movies. He was the man behind the mask. He was in the Michael Myers mask in Halloween 2, and he's been doing stunts he's got some unbelievable stories. This guy's a legend in Hollywood. Old school Hollywood stuntman, great guy who was Michael Myers in Halloween 2. And speaking of Halloween 2, Lance Guest and the great Leo Rossi, one of the greatest character actors in the world, they're going to be there, and they're going to be there because they were in Halloween 2, and they're going to be in costume, and you can get pictures taken with Leo Rossi and Lance Guest, two of the best character actors in the world. Lance Guest, who you remember from the last Starfighter, another great movie. You can get your photos taken with them. So it's a Halloween 2 reunion. Alan Howarth, the sound designer, the incredible innovator in the world of sound and music, a great composer who worked with John Carpenter on some of his legendary movies, including he did 4 of the Halloween movies. He did Christine. He did Escape from New York. He worked on so many other movies, including Prince of Darkness. He did 6 or 7 scores with John Carpenter. He's an amazing guy, incredible talent. He's going to be there, and he's going to do a concert, a live immersive concert on Saturday night, August 5th. And it's going to be a video and audio immersive experience with Alan Howarth performing all the great cool themes and songs that he composed with John Carpenter. It's going to be an amazing show. So Alan Howarth is going to be there, and you can get pictures with him, and you can get autographs from him. Kane Hodder, as I mentioned, is going to be there. He's going to be in full makeup as Jason. You can get pictures taken with him. Charles Band is coming back, the legendary the producer who has produced so many classic movies like Dolls and Ghoulies and Tourist Trap and Castle Freak. Full Moon Pictures is his company. He's going to be there and host a big presentation in the big ballroom, and then there's going to be a party that he's going to host afterwards. And that's another thing. There are a lot of parties during the whole weekend. So Charles Band is going to be there. Robin Sidney, who has worked on a bunch of the Full Moon movies, she's going to be there along with Charles Band. And then Joe Bob Briggs, the legendary drive-in god and host, Joe Bob Briggs, author, raconteur, host, and expert on film and expert on drive-ins. Joe Bob Briggs is going to be there with Darcy the Mail Girl, the host of The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob Briggs. They're going to be there live, and not only are they going to be there, but Svengoolie is going to be there, as you know, Rich Coase, our local horror host. He and Joe Bob Briggs and Darcy are going to be on the same stage together, and I'm going to MC it. And that's Friday night, a big show with Joe Bob Briggs, Darcy the Mail Girl, and Svengoolie on the same stage. I mean, that's amazing, and that's Friday night, August 4th. I will be your MC for that. So you can't do that. And so you can meet Joe Bob, you can meet Darcy the Mail Girl, you can get your autographs signed and talk to them and hang out with them. They're going to have a great panel and a great show. So Joe Bob Briggs, legend, he's going to be there. Aaron Armstrong, who was in Halloween Kills, he played Michael Myers in Halloween Kills. Corey Dimers, who was in Halloween Ends, which is a movie I love. He played Michael Myers in Halloween Ends. And then so many other events that are going to be happening. And as I mentioned, Rich, our good friend Rich Coase, is going to be there. He'll be there 2 days. He'll be there on Friday to do that show with Joe Bob Briggs. And on Saturday, he'll sign autographs and take pictures and do professional photo ops for you as well. And he will host, my favorite part, the Sinister Visions Costume Contest. This is my favorite thing that happens all weekend. It's unbelievably entertaining, where tons of kids and adults line up with amazing horror costumes, and they get up on stage, and Rich introduces them, and Rich talks to them, and all kinds of cool stuff. Svengoolie is up there, and then you, the audience, vote on who should win the prizes for the best costumes. And some of these costumes are unbelievable. You have to see them to believe them. It's my favorite part of the entire weekend. It's a highlight for me. And it'll be Saturday evening on August 5th at 5:30. And I get to introduce Rich and hang out with him a little bit on stage. And then I sit right in front row when Rich, it's so funny. You have to see Svengoolie doing the Sinister Visions Costume Contest. If you haven't seen it, you should. It's hilarious. It's wonderful. And then the imagination and the awesomeness of these costumes that people put together, our tribe put together. Stunning stuff. And Rich is great. And Svengoolie is great. And Chet Savage at Sinister Visions helps put the whole thing together, and they provide the prizes. It's fantastic. Great costumes, really great people, great fans, and Svengoolie on stage, and that's part of a great thing. Alex Vincent from the Child's Play movies are going to be there, and he's going to be there with Chucky. You can get a picture with Alex Vincent and Chucky. Christine Elise from the Child's Play 2 and other Child's Play movie. She's going to be there. She's awesome. She's going to be there, and you can get pictures with her and Chucky. And Chucky's going to be there. And then there is a Christine reunion. John Carpenter's Christine came out in December of 1983. It is the 40th anniversary, if you can believe that, of John Carpenter's incredible adaptation of the Stephen King book, Christine, about the terrifying, haunted 1958 Plymouth Fury. And 3 cast members from that movie are going to be there. You got William Ostrander, you got Malcolm Danar, and you've got Stephen Tash. And the 58 Plymouth Christine herself is going to be there. You can get pictures with the car. You can get pictures with Bill and Malcolm and Stephen, the 3 cast members who played the bullies who picked on Arnie Cunningham in the movie. They're going to be there, and you can get professional photo ops with them and the car and with them separately. And I am doing their Q&A, the big Christine 40th anniversary panel Q&A discussion with William Ostrander, Malcolm Danar, and Stephen Tash. I'm your host. I am your moderator, and that is going to be part of my Nick D podcast live episode that I'm doing at the Flashback Convention. So Esmeralda Leon and I will be on stage hosting an episode live of my podcast, the Nick D podcast, and that'll be on Saturday afternoon at 12:30. Saturday, August 5th at 12:30 as part of Flashback Weekend, Hyatt Regency O'Hare. And we're going to start at 12:30, and Esmeralda and I will get up on stage. We'll talk about horror movies. I've got an exclusive trailer that I'm going to show to the fans of a horror movie that I've seen already that comes out at the end of August, and I want to make sure people see it. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about scary movies. You guys can participate in the live podcast. So you can be a part of the episode, and it'll go out, and it'll be part of history. So you can be there. We're going to talk to the audience about scary movies. I got unbelievable prizes to give away, including exclusive Nick D podcast t-shirts and much more. So Esmeralda and I up on stage talking about horror movies and scary stuff and talking with you. It's all going to be recorded. The live podcast will be happening live right there. So let's pack the place, jam up that place on Saturday, August 5th at 12:30. And when Esmeralda and I are done talking just amongst ourselves and talking to you guys, we are going to bring in William, Malcolm, and Stephen, the bullies from Christine. They're going to be live on stage and on my podcast as part of my live podcast. So not only are we doing the panel discussion, but it's also going to be part of the incredible Nick D Podcast Live event. That all starts at 12:30. My podcast live starts at 12:30 on August 5th, on Saturday, August 5th. And then William and Malcolm and Stephen will join us at 1 o'clock. And they will be on stage with us for 45 minutes. So we're going to be up there from 12:30 to 1:45. The Nick D Podcast Live, prizes, interactive with the audience. It's all recorded. You'll be a part of a live episode of the Nick D Podcast and the Christine reunion happening as part of my live podcast. I couldn't be more excited. That's official. The Christine 40th anniversary reunion is happening on my podcast live at the Flashback Convention. Matthew Patrick Davis, who played the monster in the cellar in Barbarian, he's going to be there, and you can get a picture taken with him in full mother makeup. Lynn Eastman Rossi, who played Sally in Phantasm, is going to be there. She's one of the few Phantasm cast members that I haven't met and that I don't know personally. And I thank again Mike and Mia for the fact that I am now friends with the people from Phantasm, including Don Coscarelli and Michael Baldwin and Bill Thornberry and Reggie Bannister. And I got to know Angus Scrimm, the tall man. Phantasm is a very important movie for me and a very seminal movie for me. And the fact that I am now friends with the people who made it is amazing. And that's all because of the Flashback Weekend Horror Convention and Mike and Mia. And so Lynn Eastman Rossi is going to be there from Phantasm. Another amazing thing that's going to be happening that week. And Tom Devlin is going to be there. And like I said, Svengoolie is going to be there. My buddy Steve Procopi, who appears on my podcast, the Nick D Podcast, regularly as my movie reviewer. He and I we co-host. He hosts some stuff, and he does some moderations on Q&A, and so do I. So we split the duties in the Q&A room on Saturday and Sunday when there are celebrities coming in and there are panels happening and events and stuff. We split the duties between interviewing and hosting. So Steve's going to be there as well as so many other local celebrities. But this is really it's the event of the year. It's my, I don't know, it's the highlight of the entire year for me. It's the best thing that happens during the year and the best thing that happens during the summer. And if you're a horror fan, you can't miss it. It's the 21st anniversary of the Flashback Weekend Horror Convention. So get your tickets now. I'm not sure if there are rooms available at the hotel, but you can get a room at the hotel and stay the entire weekend, because in addition to all the events that are that are part of it, the concert, the event with Joe Bob Briggs and Svengoolie, the Alan Howarth concert, like I said, the costume contest, all the photo opportunities, and all of the celebrity panels and stuff like that. There are parties non-stop. I mean, if you want to meet people, there's a great place to meet people. I have met some of the coolest and most interesting people over the 20 years that I've been doing this. And if you just want to hang out, if you want to drink, there's an incredible bar that's located up on top of the Hyatt Regency with an unbelievable view, the Venetian Room, and a lot of events happen up there. Charles Band, the producer, he's going to be hosting a big party up in the big ballroom, or up in the big bar upstairs. You can find friends. There are parties happening all over the hotel the entire weekend. So if you want to socialize, if you want to meet new people, the zombie army, be a part of the zombie army as well. So in addition to it being a great celebration of horror and to help keep a drive-in alive and to just have a great time and meet celebrities and go to really cool events, it is a great social meeting place. You will meet amazing people and make friendships that might last a lifetime. I know I have. So the Flashback Horror Convention, the best weekend of the year. It is happening August 4th through the 6th, 2023 at the Hyatt Regency O'Hare. Flashbackweekend.com for the full schedule, all the events. The full schedule will be posted in a couple of days, and it will have all of the events in order, like who's going to be during what Q&A, in what ballroom, the photo ops, that whole schedule, all the schedules for the events and where you can meet the celebrities and all that stuff. It'll all be at flashbackweekend.com, and you can get your tickets there. I recommend getting those tickets now. There are different levels. You can do you can buy passes for all 3 days. You can buy single-day passes. There are a ton of options for you to get your tickets and to have fun. I can't wait to see you guys. Come up and say hi. I'm there all weekend. I'm running around like a lunatic all weekend. I can't wait to hang out with Svengoolie, Rich Coase. He's my buddy. I get to introduce him and do all of the stuff that he's doing and MC the stuff between him and Joe Bob Briggs. And I'm doing the Christine 40th anniversary, which is going to be a part of my live podcast, which I get to do on stage there. We did it last year and it was fantastic. We had a great, great time. It was fantastic. PJ Souls and John Michael Cullum from Halloween were our guests that year, and this year it's the guys from Christine. So it's John Carpenter related. So anyway, get your tickets now. It's going to be a blast. Even if you're not a horror fan, I have some friends who are coming who don't like horror movies or who aren't really horror fans. They've come in the past. They've had a great time. Bring your family, bring your friends. Let's pack the place. Have a great weekend. And make sure you come 12:30 on Saturday to see my podcast with the Christine reunion and much more. My thanks to Mike and Mia Kurz for giving me over 20 years of unbelievable memories. You can check out past flashbacks as well. With all the guests and all the stuff that we've had. All of the stuff in the past, that you can check it out. All of this is at flashbackweekend.com. So get your tickets, and I will see you there August 4th through the 6th, Hyatt Regency O'Hare. It's going to be a blast, and I really hope you come out, and there you go. So Flashback Weekend, we are less than 2 weeks away. The best weekend of the year, the best weekend of the summer easily, and the most fun that you will have this year. So get your tickets now at Flashback Weekend. I'll see you August 4th through the 6th, Hyatt Regency O'Hare. Thank you.